What's up, YouTube? It's your boy SiNfull here, bringing you another YouTube series. And today, this series, we're going to be talking about anime. Lots of anime. One of my favorite genres of TV is anime, and the reason I like it so much, well, there's a lot of reasons, but we're gonna go really in depth with this. Talk about my top 5 favorite shows, what I look for in anime, all that kind of stuff in very, very explicit detail. Well, not explicit detail. That makes it sound weird, but yes, in a lot of detail, we're gonna be discussing this because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that judge anime because of what they see currently, and not what all of anime is. So let's get into this. So a lot of you may have been wondering how does somebody get into anime? There's a lot of different ways. Some people, they like watching stuff like Avatar and all that, like more of the Americanized stuff, and then they start getting more and more into it. For me, it was a lot of the opposite stuff. Like most people like anime, so then they take Japanese. I took Japanese, saw people that liked anime in my Japanese class, so I decided, what the hell, why not try it? And that's how I really started to get into anime. My first anime that I've ever watched was High School of the Dead. And I know what a lot of you guys are thinking that like anime. Like, really? High School of the Dead? That was your first anime? Wow, you must be thinking weird thoughts about anime. And yes, I did think weird thoughts about anime at that time. I thought it was ridiculously stupid that there was this much fan service in the show. But at the same time, there were lots of awesome things to take from it. Like, the action scenes in High School of the Dead were really well done. The fact that it took my 3 favorite things, guns, zombies, and hot chicks, and put it all into one freaking show. That was what I really enjoyed from that show. So it added to my taste very well. So that's what I really enjoyed from that. The soundtrack, of course, is awesome too. How they changed the song, the ending track every episode. That was so cool. I loved every single one of those tracks. One of my favorite being Place of Hope by Murun Kurosaki. Very good song. So that's another thing I like from it. I do like, and that's what got me into Japanese music itself. I like the main opening theme song of that. Like, that was a good... I actually would recommend that to people to watch for their first anime. If they like really high-paced action, just intense action, they don't mind a bit of cleavage every now and then, that would be a show I would recommend to people to watch for their first anime, if they are into that stuff. And that's the main thing I like about anime, is it's taught me that there's no such thing as saying that you hate anime, simply because there's so much anime out there that you're not going to hate every single one of them, unless you just don't like the art style of anime. And that I can find acceptable. There's not a lot of people that would like that art style. It's, to some people that are taught that, oh, it's a cartoon, I don't like that. That's acceptable. I'm going to be completely accepting of that. But if there's somebody out there that says, oh, I don't like anime because it shows this, then that's where I have an issue with it, because not all anime is the same. There are so many different animes out there. I'm going to use the term animes very, very fluently throughout this video. It's going to be swapped out every now and then, because I'm not sure. Are multiple anime called an animes, or is it anime? I don't know. My English, I'm terrible at it. But yeah, it's taught me a lot of things. There's actually a couple life lessons I've learned through a couple different shows as well. So, back on track with the story. High School of the Dead was the very first anime I ever watched. I enjoyed it so much that I watched all of it right away, and I basically pulled an all-nighter, and then I watched it all again later on. And it's still one of my most watched shows. I think I've rewatched it 3 or 4 times, maybe 6, and I wanted to do a music video on it, but I couldn't. I just didn't have the editing tools available. But yeah, High School of the Dead was so much fun to watch. Like, that's how much I enjoyed it. And then I started getting more into, like, okay, I want to watch other anime like this. And that's when I started getting into that era of, okay, let's find fan service anime and all this crap. And whatever. It was kind of boring. I didn't like a lot of it. So I kind of steered off for a little bit. And then I had a buddy of mine tell me that he just finished watching Angel Beats, and it was so good that he cried multiple times. So naturally, I picked up Angel Beats. Angel Beats is oh my god, Angel Beats is so enjoyable. I love that show. The Angel Beats, safe to say, is the one show that got me back into music. There was a time period of my life where I wasn't as into music as I am currently. but Angel Beats is the one that got me there. It's the one that made me go, I really want to work on music, because of Marina, that's her name. I feel terrible for forgetting her name. Marina's vocals for Iwasawa in Angel Beats is amazing. I do have a couple of her songs that weren't even in the anime on my iPhone right now. Oh, just Marina's voice is so good. Girls Dead Monster, all of that. All of that made me get back into music, and all the music in Angel Beats made me get back into music. And Angel Beats was the first anime where I've actually, like, cried watching. And as a dude, I will honestly say, if you don't cry during the show, you're not human. There are so many good factors of it, and just, it teaches you so many things about how you should value every moment, because you never know which one will be your last. And then after I watched that and told him that, a couple of my buddies, different friends, said, "Dude, you watched Angel Beats? Now you need to go watch Clannad." So I started going off of people's suggestions on what to watch, and I started getting into more of the romantic anime with Clannad. I watched Clannad. I watched a little bit of Air. I didn't finish Air, unfortunately. But yeah, Clannad was so much fun to watch, and there were a couple points in there where I was tearing up, of course. But I'm a little bit of a sap when it comes to romance anime. I like it a lot. And plus, Clannad is where my Swinub that I have in Pokemon, that's where that nickname comes from, Botan. You guys will see more of Botan once I get my capture card for my 3DS, of course. But yeah, Botan is the team mascot for the Little Cup team I have in Pokemon Showdown, and he's so much fun. But yes, Clannad was one of the third anime that I've watched. Since then, I've watched a lot of anime. I'm looking up at my cupboard right now of disc anime that I have. I have High School of the Dead, Angel Beats, Jormungand, certain Scientific Railgun, certain Magical Index, and both parts of Attack on Titan in the limited editions box sets. Speaking of Attack on Titan, that's another really great anime that I'm really glad came out. It's not the best anime, and I'm going to be the first person to really say that. I'm not saying it as an anime elitist, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard that term. You know, the guys that just hate popular anime because of the little tiny-ass details. It's not a great anime. I'm going to say that first and foremost. It's a good anime, but not a great anime. It's a lot on the long. Oh my god, words are a struggle today. It's a lot on the lines of something like High School of the Dead. It gives you that action, but there's a lot of stuff in Attack on Titan that really made me think. And it goes to show that show went to show. Oh my god, my words today, guys, are terrible. I'm sorry, but that show showed people. Sorry, I'm really picking my words now. That show showed people that, you know, while you do have one enemy, there are also other enemies within yourself. Sometimes the people you're fighting with are actually against you, and that's a big key factor in that show that they really showed off really nicely. And sometimes you don't even know who the enemy really is, and that's another key factor in the show. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty details of what I look for in an anime. When I'm watching an anime, the first thing, of course, that everyone sees, and I'll try to get some Crunchyroll screenshots in here if I can. The first thing that I always think of is the name of the anime. I read a little bit of the description, and I look at the overall title. Not the title, the cover art for the anime. And if I don't like one part of that, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm a little bit picky when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm not too much into slice of life anime anymore, or romance anime as much. But there's a lot of shows out there that I will tolerate. I mostly like some action anime, and a lot of the more unique ones. One of the shows I'm currently watching right now is Gate, and that is a show where the self-defense. Let me start from the beginning. That's a show where, at the start of the show, a gate opens up in the middle of the Ginza district, and there's this big anime sale going on, anime doujinshi sale going on, and this guy named Itami Yoji, I always called him Itami the entire time. Itami is there, he's gonna go buy some doujin and stuff, and dragons and all kinds of fantasy creatures come out of this gate. They attack everybody in there. The self-defense force comes in and they cut them down real quick because, of course, it's fantasy creatures. They can't stand up to the firepower of an AH-1J Cobra. Excuse me. But yes, so they cut them down, and then they enter this gate and discover this fantasy land of, dragons, fairies, elves, all of that. So then they go into there, and it focuses a lot on the political issues of what you'd have to deal like going into a new region that is unmapped and untouched by any person on Earth. So they enter this region, and the first thing they do is they cut down all opposition that tries to attack them on the start, and they occupy Arnis Hill is what the name of the hill is. They occupy Arnis Hill. And as they're occupying Arnis Hill, they realize they need to start going out and making relations with the people there. So they send out recon teams to establish connections with the people in the surrounding areas, kind of how you would in an actual military invasion scenario. As much as it sucks to say that, that's kind of what it is. It's an invasion. But they establish a hearts and minds policy with the people there where they want to win over the people and get them on their side, to establish that they aren't a hostile force, really. They're just there to be there. They're just there to intermingle with the people. Sure, they have a lot of firepower, but they're not going to use it all over the place. Much like the U.S., even though I'm an American. But yes, the show is really good. It talks a lot on... I just like how accurate it is with the self-defense force. I love the little gimmicky parts of it. Like, there's one part where there's a chopper team coming in on a castle area, and they play Ride of the Valkyries and all that bullshit. It's so good. I love that part in that show. But yes, that's one show I'm watching. If I go to my Crunchyroll right now on my PlayStation, I can actually see what else I'm watching. I'm watching, I finished watching, again, Black Bullet. That's my third rewatch of Black Bullet. Black Bullet is one of my top 5 anime. It's that good. It's a lot on the lines of Attack on Titan, but I feel like they executed it a little bit better in the regards of showing that the people that are right next to you might actually be your biggest enemy. That there's always going to be more than one enemy in any type of scenario. Like, Black Bullet is so good. And the one anime I'd recommend that's currently ongoing right now that I suggest you guys should watch would be Gate. Another one would be God Eater. God Eater used to be a game, but now but they just recently made an anime for it. God Eater is really good. So I do recommend watching that. Ooh, available 22 hours from now for episode 9 of The Gate. Let's see, what else am I watching? I'm watching Kantai Collection, just because I was kind of bored and I've seen a lot of stuff about it and I kind of wanted to watch it. Yona of the Dawn, I actually need to finish watching. That's a good show. Polar Bear Cafe. This is one of those shows where I would recommend it to people simply because it's very short. Well, the episodes are very short. There's like there's like 2 or 3 episodes per show, and it's just very relaxed sort of show to watch. You can just turn it on and just leave it running. Let's see, what's another one that I recently finished? Oh, Hentai Prince and the Stony Cat. This is one of the more enjoyable ones. It touched a lot of parts of me, not being weird or anything, but it did. It touched on how family works, how friendship works, how socialization works, and as somebody that really likes sociology and likes to study that, as well as psychology, I love shows that talk a lot about that. It's so enjoyable. Although Zero I'm also getting into, and that's a lot on the lines like Black Bullet and Attack on Titan, where maybe your actual enemy is the guy standing next to you, that kind of thing. Very, very. I don't know why, but I love shows like that. No Game No Life. If you haven't seen No Game No Life, you need to. This show it talks a lot about No Game No Life. It talks a lot about gaming. So when you watch this show, you have to think in that mindset as well. There's a bit of fan service in it, but they like to tease the fan service and like make fun of fan service as they are showing the fan service, so it's pretty fun. And the reason I'm listing off all these shows is because it talks so much on how there's so much anime out there. You gotta look really deep into it to find the ones you'll actually like. And you can't say that you don't like anime, really, unless you just don't like the art style. I've had a couple friends tell me that. They say, look, Federer, we just don't like anime because of the art style. That's it. And I'm very accepting of that. But for the people that would say, "Oh, I don't like anime because you know all it is, it's just fighting ninjas," it's like, no, there's a show right here about two loser otaku kids that are taken to another world, and they play games. Where in this world they play games to settle all matters. So if you think that's a show about fighting ninjas, then you're obviously wrong. Oh, Brynhilde in the Darkness. I need to get back to watching this. This is a show about magical witches and how they were created by the government and they escaped. And now the government's trying to take them back and kill them, basically, because they escaped. There's so many elements of this show that I just can't explain in one video. You guys just have to watch that show in and of itself. Idolmaster, which I only watched because I play Ace Combat, and they support Idolmaster a lot in Ace Combat. Infinite Stratos, I watched the first season of that. I enjoyed it, but I don't really like the second. I haven't really gotten into the second season because I've been busy. Ooh, Puella Magi Madoka Magica. This show, in and of itself, is a satire. And it sounds weird to say that because it's not much of a satire, but it is a satire. It satirizes all kinds of the magical girl shows and how they're like super poppy and fun and happy. And this show really delves into how dark and deep it can actually get. And I would really recommend it for people that think that, you know, magical girl anime or anime in general is just magical girls hopping all over the place. This is the anime I'd point them to exactly. I say, look, you think it's that way? Go watch Puella Magi Madoka Magica, because that is probably the most true to how it would work in real society as it can be. What else do I got here? What else have I been watching? Yeah, that's all I can really touch on right now. Ori Emo. Ooh. My little sister can't be this cute. This is a great show. And it was a little awkward for me to watch it because I do have a little sister. But the entire time of this show, I really connected with Kyosuke. And, you know, Kirino is a lot like my little sister in the fact that she loves track and field. And she's not like... She kind of hates her brother, so to speak. But then it did start getting weird when they like dated and shit. That's when it got weird, and I didn't really enjoy it as much. But the first season, I would say, was probably my favorite season because it really showed how Kyosuke and Kirino had this quote-unquote common interest that they really started connected with more. And it really showed Kyosuke that he kind of needed to be there for his sister a little more. And that's how they kind of got to enjoy being with each other more, and actually ended up being brother and sister, which was so enjoyable to watch. Just the progression of that was so good. And then of course Gate, God Eater, teen romantic comedy snafu. This is part of my now we're actually gonna get into my top 5 favorite shows. My teen romantic comedy snafu is my favorite anime of all time. The reason being is because I connect with Hachiman so much in this show, it is ridiculous. My high school life is exactly like his, like almost word for word. Everything that he says advice-wise, I would probably say to people as well, and I immediately agree with it. We're just that intertwined, like it's ridiculous. We are the same character, I'd say. I'm surprised they didn't look like cameras weren't on my high school life when that was happening. Like, that show is so good. I love teen romantic comedy snafu. I need to watch season 2. I'm finishing up season 1 again because I watched season 1 a little while back, and now I'm gonna watch it again before I start season 2. That way, so I have the storyline there. But yes, teen romantic comedy snafu is my favorite show. Eden of the East is my second favorite show of all time. Eden of the East is so good. Basically, I'll talk more on these on their separate videos. But yes, Eden of the East is my second favorite show. Angel Beats is my third. Black Bullet is my 4th favorite show. And Hellsing Ultimate is my 5th. In case you guys didn't see that one coming. Hellsing Ultimate, you know, Alucard, Ceres Victoria, all that is the badassery, and that's so awesome. But yeah, those are my top 5 favorite animes. I'm going to be talking about those in a separate video. If you guys enjoyed this video and want me to talk more on anime in general, even though this was kind of a bit rambly. My bad on that part. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. Subscribe for more content, and yes, if you do want me to continue doing more anime-related content, you know, maybe a couple of anime reviews here and there, just leave a like down below, and I'll know that you guys want me to do more of this stuff. Likes are the currency, I'd say, of YouTube. Every time you leave a like, that's you saying, "Hey, I like this. Keep it up." Hey, I want more of this. Keep it up. That's kind of what you're saying when you like a video. When you subscribe to a channel, I guess you're kind of saying the same thing. You like, but that's more in lines of you like everything they do, or you like the certain stuff that they do, but you couldn't really care less for the other parts that they do. But yes, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like down below, subscribe for more content, and always leave a comment. I try to read any all comments that I possibly can, and I try to reply to as many as I possibly can. Of course, there's going to be parts. There's going to be parts to this series: Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5, Part 6. Those are going to be about my top 5 favorite anime. We're going to discuss more in detail about stuff from anime, and it's going to be very enjoyable. That's all I'm going to say, really. Either way, Fenrir checking out.